I want to thank my patron supporters who are helping me to make more videos more often. If you'd like to become a patron supporter, please go to patreon.com/TJR, the original. Thank you for watching this video. Hey everybody, this is TJR. During the 70s and the 80s, there would be these occasional Looney Tunes holiday-themed TV specials. Now, I always considered these TV specials to be very redundant. And the reason being is because they would primarily feature footage from their classic theatrical shorts with some new animation framing sequences stringing it all together. The new footage was usually inferior, and the framing sequences were extremely contrived, and I guess there was no getting around that because they had to kind of just help lead to the next classic segment after the other one. In fact, the only reason to watch these holiday specials was for the classic animation footage. And quite frankly, just watch the original. You know, that's going to be a whole lot better because then you get the whole original classic cartoon. So I was excited to hear about the upcoming Bugs Bunny holiday 24 karat Bugs Bunny 24 karat holiday special it was called, and this was on HBO Max, and it was going to feature all new animation, all new holiday themed shorts. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a big animation fan, and I have a special interest in classic animated theatrical shorts from the 1930s through to the 1950s. Now, after the 1950s, this genre kind of petered out. For decades, there were all these studios creating these theatrical shorts to show in movie houses before your motion picture. Some of the most famous of which, of course, came from Warner Brothers and the Looney Tunes. I own all the Looney Tunes Golden Collections. Now, earlier this year, I reviewed the new HBO Max Looney Tunes series. And this series was very much a return to the roots of these characters. Instead of trying to put them into, larger, more complex plot lines, it returns them back to the shorts that they were known for back during the 30s and 40s and 50s. In my review, I stated that for the most part, I really enjoyed the reboot, with the exception of how Bugs Bunny was portrayed in, I would say, probably the majority of the shorts that featured him. But overall, these shorts worked. The animation was really well done, and most of all, they were laugh out loud funny, just like the original classic cartoons were. So, I sat down to watch this latest installment of HBO's Looney Tunes, and all I can say is, what happened? On average, I would say that the majority of the comedy in these new animated segments just didn't work. I'm going to go through them real quick here. The first segment has Daffy and Porky trying to help Santa after his elves go on strike. This first segment had a mildly funny moment where a killer robot uses Daffy as a gun and basically shoots eggs out of his behind, which is kind of weird because Daffy is a boy duck, not a girl duck. And the fact that I noticed this and thought about this is kind of indicative of the fact that these cartoons aren't very funny. Had they been really funny, I wouldn't even have been thinking about that. But mostly, this short, and along with a lot of the others that followed, it was mostly just a lot of noise trying to be funny. A lot of frenetic action and a lot of things going bang and boom, but nothing really working as far as comedy. This particular segment also really felt like something out of a bad 80s TV special that hasn't aged very well. The second segment featured Tasmanian Devil, and it was just a very short piece where he's going door to door trying to perform Christmas carols. This segment, it was just boring. I mean, it has potential, but it was just boring. Luckily, it was the shortest of all the segments on this special, which was running time of about roughly 29 minutes. The third segment has Tweety Bird and Grandma shopping for holiday deals while Sylvester stalks Tweety Bird. This should have worked, and there were a few brief moments where it did work. I'll admit it was a little bit better than the opening Daffy and Porky segment, But just like that segment, it's mostly just noise. The fourth segment was Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote being Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, but all the traps are holiday themed. Now, one of the things about the Roadrunner shorts is that if you've seen one, you've seen them all, only you haven't. One of the marvels of this particular cartoon series at their height was just how many variations they could play on the same routine. In those classic cartoons, there were often times when you could just see the gag payoff coming, but it was the build-up and it was the timing, and that the timing was so perfect that it paid off so well. Unfortunately, in this cartoon, until the very ending, nothing worked. It finally started to work right at the very ending, but by then, the cartoon was over. The last cartoon short features Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. It has them getting into a snowball fight after Elmer refuses to stop shoveling his, front porch snow towards Bugs' home. Now, this last segment probably works better than all the others. As I watched this one, I said to myself, well, at least in this one, Bugs Bunny isn't an a-hole, like he was in quite a number of the new HBO Max shorts. In this short, Elmer Fudd is definitely the antagonist. However, for some reason, the animators and the writers decided that they would establish this fact in what I can only describe as the most unnecessarily overt and overkill manner possible. This moment felt like it was written by a coked-out 13-year-old. Still, there were a decent number of gags within this segment that actually did work pretty good. So I guess you could say they saved the best for last. On paper, I'm sure that these gags worked, but in execution, they didn't. And the lack of laughs in each one of these cartoons got more and more disappointing with each minute. Also, throughout this entire 29-minute special, there was this underlying theme of mean-spiritedness. I'm going to go back to that opening segment with Daffy and Porky. In that opening cartoon, we find out that the reason why the elves are on strike is because Santa is a real bastard. And he's a real bastard to Daffy and Porky too. They try to do something nice. They try to save Christmas and they get smacked down for it. And at the end of the cartoon, there's no comeuppance for Santa. It's just very mean-spirited. So after the 24-karat holiday special was over, I went back to episode 1 of season 1 of the HBO Max Looney Tunes, and I rewatched the segment where Bugs Bunny arm wrestles with Yosemite Sam. I did this for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to wash the bad taste that the 24-karat holiday special left in my mouth. And 2, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just me. I laughed out loud at this short from episode 1, which only confirmed that it was the show, not me. In summation, I will say that the Bugs Bunny 24-karat holiday special is mostly noise and very little laughs, which is very hard for me to have to say. I definitely want to see HBO Max continue to make more episodes in this series, but please take your time, get the timing right. I really can't recommend this holiday-themed episode, so instead, I'm going to recommend that you either watch or rewatch any number of the very funny shorts they created for season 1, or why not actually check out the extensive back catalog of classic shorts available for streaming on the service. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours. Please leave a comment. As always, if you like what I'm doing, be sure to click a like, click subscribe, and smash that bell notification icon so you can know when I release new videos. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all stay safe and healthy. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Take care. Bye-bye.